May 2025 is looking absolutely stacked with new game releases. Seriously, whether you're into intense shooters, deep RPGs, quirky indies, or even VR, there's something hitting storefronts this month that's probably gonna grab your attention. Forget spring cleaning. It's time to clear some hard drive space. Let's dive right into the biggest and most interesting games launching in May 2025. Kicking things off right at the start of the month, May 1st, we've got Despelote hitting PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. This isn't your typical AAA blockbuster. It's a first-person narrative adventure set in Quito, Ecuador back in 2001, centered around football or soccer, depending on where you're watching. It's got this really distinct sepia art style and tells a semi-autobiographical story about childhood and soccer culture. Critics are digging the unique physics-based ball kicking, the vibrant world, and the bittersweet story. Early Steam demos have been very positive, so if you're looking for something unique, atmospheric, and maybe a bit chill, check this one out. Also launching on May 1st, but jumping into the virtual world, is Dig VR for PSVR and PC VR. Ever wanted to operate heavy excavation equipment without needing a license? This is your chance. It's a construction sim aiming to capture the fun and challenge of digging stuff up. Reviews mention vibrant visuals, some funny British-style commentary, and satisfying controls that really use VR well. It's described as having a leisurely pace, though some mention the screen shake can be a bit intense. Could be a fun, different kind of VR experience. Then on May 2nd, PC players get the full release of Vellum. This action roguelike has been cooking in early access for over a year and has built up a solid following. Very positive reviews on Steam kinda prove that. Think Risk of Rain 2 meets Hades meets Elden Ring spellcasting, all wrapped up in a cool ink-based magic combat system. It supports solo and co-op play, and the 1.0 launch adds 2 major raid encounters. If you're into deep, replayable action roguelikes, Vellum should definitely be on your radar. Moving to May 5th, PC gets another interesting genre blend with Drop Duchy. Picture this, Tetris-style block dropping, but instead of just clearing lines, you're using those falling blocks to build a medieval town, gather resources, and manage defenses. It's a unique hybrid of puzzle and strategy. Early buzz mentions an innovative concept and clean visuals, though some found the difficulty curve a bit steep. Still, a very fresh take on the puzzle genre. Now, May 6th brings a title with a wild backstory, Captain Blood, launching on PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. This pirate-themed action game, based on classic novels, was apparently originally meant for the PS3. Yeah, it's been in development hell for over a decade. We're expecting classic hack-and-slash pirate combat, naval battles, and swashbuckling adventure. The big question everyone has is, how will a game stuck in development for that long hold up today? Definitely one to watch out of sheer curiosity. Also, on May 6th, Switch players finally get their hands on High on Life. You probably remember this one. The comedic first-person shooter from Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty, featuring those infamous talking guns. The original release got mixed to positive reviews, praised for its unique humor and setting, but dinged for some technical hiccups. It'll be interesting to see how Squanch Games managed to port this visually distinct, fast-paced shooter over to the Switch hardware. Staying on May 6th, but shifting to sci-fi intensity, we have Metal Eden hitting PS5, Xbox, and PC. This looks like pure adrenaline fuel, a first-person shooter blending Doom-style combat with Ghost Runner-esque parkour. You're a cybernetically enhanced soldier on a suicide mission. Previews highlight fast-paced action, realistic environments, and a slick sci-fi aesthetic. Comparisons to Doom, Ghost Runner, and Ruiner definitely set expectations high for intense, stylish action. Skipping ahead slightly to May 8th, PC gets Bahamut and the Waqwaq tree. This is a 2D adventure game deeply rooted in Arabian and Middle Eastern mythology, set in a tainted underwater realm. It promises beautiful underwater exploration, puzzle adventure gameplay, and a story-driven mystery. It's always great to see games exploring underrepresented mythologies, so this one stands out for its unique cultural perspective. Also on May 8th for PC is, well, it's Cache Cleaner Simulator. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. You clean, organize, and restore cash and valuables, often taking jobs from underworld contacts in a tongue-in-cheek take on money laundering. If you're into those oddly satisfying simulator games, this unique premise might just scratch that itch. Demo feedback suggests it's surprisingly addictive. Still on May 8th, Empyreal arrives on PS5, Xbox, and PC. This is described as a complex action RPG, drawing comparisons to games like Remnant 2. You join an expedition to an unexplored planet featuring a mysterious structure called the Monolith. Previews praise its deep systems, challenging combat, and handcrafted environments. No procedural generation here. It sounds like one for players who really like to sink their teeth into intricate action RPGs. One more for May 8th, and this one looks wild. The Midnight Walk for PS5 and PC. It's a cozy horror game made entirely in clay using stop-motion animation. From the team behind Lost in Random. Think The Nightmare Before Christmas or Mad God visually. It blends cozy and horror elements, focusing on outsmarting monsters rather than direct combat. The handcrafted claymation aesthetic alone makes this a must-watch for anyone who appreciates artistic innovation in games. Rounding out a busy May 8th is Pixelshire on PC. If you're a fan of Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, pay attention. This is a sandbox RPG combining life sim elements with town building, exploration, and combat. It features organic town building, less grid-based, farming, character customization, and a charming pixel art style. Demo feedback has been positive, praising the detail and interaction between its systems. And the final game for May 8th is Revenge of the Savage Planet for PS5, Xbox, and PC. This is the sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet, bringing back that satirical, upbeat humor and vibrant alien world exploration. Key changes include a shift to a third-person perspective from first-person and a bigger emphasis on co-op chaos. Previews suggest it's even more chaotic and silly than the original, especially with a friend. Okay, catching our breath? We're not even halfway through the month. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. It really helps out. Now let's keep going. On May 12th, PC players get Project Mist. This is an open-world survival horror game set on a foggy, enigmatic island. You'll be exploring, fighting colossal monsters, including flying whales and giant heads. Yes, really! And building defenses. Think The Forest, but maybe more fantastical. Demo feedback seems mixed, with praise for the concept, but some notes on UI and optimization needing work. Alright, brace yourselves, because on May 15th, hell comes to the Middle Ages. Doom: The Dark Ages drops on PS5, Xbox, and PC. This is the prequel to Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, exploring the Doom Slayer's origins. The big news here is a heavier focus on melee combat, including a shield with parry mechanics. But don't worry, hands-on impressions say despite the shield and melee focus, it still feels like Doom. Fast, brutal, and intense. This looks like a potential banger. Also on May 15th is Into the Restless Ruins for PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. This roguelike deck builder has a really cool twist. You build the dungeon layout using cards each night. Then you have to survive fighting through the dungeon you just created during the day. It's an innovative loop combining planning and randomness, with stylish visuals inspired by classic Warhammer Quest. Demo reviews have been positive, highlighting its fresh take on the genre. One more for May 15th, this time for VR horror fans. Tunnels on MetaQuest. Get ready for claustrophobia. This game traps you deep underground in an abandoned mine. Previews emphasize intense atmosphere, suffocating environments, limited resources, and effective use of VR to generate genuine fear. Sounds like nightmare fuel for VR enthusiasts. May 16th sees the release of Capcom Fighting Collection 2 for PS4, Switch, Xbox, and PC. Fighting game fans, listen up. This collection bundles classics like Capcom vs. SNK 2 and Project Justice, games that are often hard to play legally today. Expect faithful emulation plus modern necessities like rollback netcode, a must-have for fans of Capcom's fighting game legacy. Jumping to May 20th, PC players can brave the harsh deserts of Arrakis in Dune Awakening. This is an open-world survival MMO set in the iconic Dune universe. You'll need to manage resources, survive sandworms and the environment, build communities, and navigate MMO's social structures. Beta impressions are a bit mixed. Some love the challenging survival aspects true to Dune. Others question the MMO integration. Definitely one for survival fans and Dune enthusiasts to keep an eye on. Also, on May 20th, from the creators of Spin Tires and SnowRunner comes Roadcraft for PS5, Xbox, and PC. This time, instead of just hauling cargo through mud, you're using heavy construction machinery to restore sites devastated by natural disasters. Expect realistic physics, road and bridge building, and disaster recovery missions. It seems focused more on construction than pure vehicle simulation compared to their previous hits. May 21st brings Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, to PS5, Switch, Xbox, and PC. This is a life sim RPG where you can freely switch between 14 different jobs or lives, like miner, mercenary, chef, etc. You'll be building and customizing an island, exploring, crafting, fighting, and engaging with social elements, all wrapped in a narrative involving time travel. Looks like a charming and deep life sim experience. Also hitting PC on May 21st is JDM, Japanese Drive Master. Focusing on Japanese car culture and drifting, this game aims for simcade physics, realistic but accessible. Expect open-world driving in Japanese-inspired locations, car customization, and some story elements. Early feedback is mixed, with some liking the drifting feel while others find it lacking compared to hardcore sims. The aesthetic and setting seem to be a strong point, though. Monster Train fans, get hyped! May 21st also sees the launch of Monster Train 2 on PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. The sequel to the beloved roguelike deck builder brings back that unique three-tiered vertical battlefield. Expect new factions, champions, cards, and more strategic depth, plus more robust endgame content. Early impressions suggest it's a successful evolution of the original's addictive formula. On May 22nd, Blades of Fire launches for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Developed by Mercury Steam, the folks behind Metroid Dread, this action-adventure features Souls-like combat, but with a unique twist. Weapon forging is central to the gameplay. You'll gather materials from enemies who have a distinct puppet-like look to craft and upgrade your arsenal. Previews mention satisfying combat and blacksmithing integration, though the protagonist's narrative might be a bit generic. Also on May 22nd for PC is Bloodshed. Described as Vampire Survivors meets Doom, this is a first-person shooter roguelite with retro visuals. Expect fast-paced, frantic combat against waves of enemies, quick runs, and powerful upgrades. It's been getting positive buzz in early access for successfully merging the survivors-like auto-shooter loop with FPS action. City Builder fans get City Tales Medieval Era on May 22nd. Unlike grid-based builders, this one boasts an organic building system for more natural-looking medieval towns. It features a beautiful, colorful visual style and deep simulation elements, focusing on growth rather than combat. Think Manor Lords, but perhaps cozier and more stylized. Gundam fans, take note! May 22nd also brings Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered to Switch and PC. This is an enhanced version of a 2012 PSP game, retelling the Seed and Seed Destiny storylines. It features improved graphics, additional content, and multiple factions. Importantly, this brings the game west with English support for the first time. Rounding out May 22nd is TMNT Tactical Takedown for PC. Cowabunga! This is a turn-based tactical game starring the Ninja Turtles, focused on quick, puzzle-like missions. Each turtle has unique abilities, and levels constantly evolve. Early impressions are surprisingly positive, noting more strategic depth than expected while keeping the TMNT charm. The quick mission structure sounds like a great fit. And one more for May 22nd. Zombie Army VR shambles onto PSVR 2, PC VR, and MetaQuest. The Nazi zombie slaying action comes to VR. Expect authentic World War II weapons, co-op campaign play, and immersive zombie shooting using VR controls. Hands-on previews seem mixed, praising the immersion but noting some potential technical issues. Dual-wielding weapons against zombie hordes in VR sounds pretty wild, though. On May 23rd, Capcom brings back another classic with Onimusa 2, Samurai's Destiny, remastered for PS4, Switch, Xbox, and PC. This remaster of the PS2 action game features enhanced visuals while preserving the original's acclaimed sword combat, feudal Japan setting, and unique character relationship system. A great chance to revisit or experience a classic. Jumping to May 28th, we get To a T on PS5, Xbox, and PC. This comes from Keita Takahashi, the creator of Katamari Damacy, so expect something charming and quirky. It's a 3D narrative adventure about a teen navigating small-town life with their dog, while permanently stuck in a T-pose. Yes, you heard that right. Expect colorful visuals and weird humor. Also on May 28th for PC is Fuga, Melodies of Steel 3. This marks the conclusion to CyberConnect 2's tactical RPG trilogy about children piloting a giant tank in wartime. Expect more emotional storytelling, turn-based strategy, heart-wrenching decisions, and the resolution to the series' story. Fans of the first two know what to expect here. May 29th brings Bitcraft Online to PC. This is a sandbox MMORPG aiming for a relaxed vibe, encouraging diverse playstyles like farming, crafting, exploring, city building, and social strategy within a single persistent world. Early alpha tests suggest an ambitious game with a focus on community building, maybe like a more socially focused Minecraft. And finally, closing out the month on May 30th, we have Elden Ring Nightreign, hitting PS5, Xbox, and PC. Now this isn't DLC, it's a standalone multiplayer co-op action survival game set in the Elden Ring universe, apparently priced around $40. It pits teams of players against enemies in a PvE experience, possibly with Battle Royale inspirations. Key differences from the main game include no fall damage and no equipment weight. Network tests yielded mixed impressions. Some enjoyed the co-op fun. Others felt it strayed too far from the core Elden Ring feel. It's definitely going to be one people talk about. Also, on May 30th for PC is My Father Lied. This is a first-person point-and-click mystery focusing on Mesopotamian history and mythology. You play as Huda, uncovering secrets about her father's disappearance, using a mix of 2D art and 360-degree imagery for immersion. Looks like a narrative-driven puzzle game with a unique cultural setting. And the last game for May 30th is Rune Factory: Guardians of Azuma for Switch and PC. This is a fresh take on the Rune Factory series, where you play as an earth dancer, restoring the land. Previews highlight refined gameplay, new land restoration powers, cleaner visuals, and improved performance compared to Rune Factory 5. Looks promising for fans of the farming RPG hybrid genre. That is a ton of games hitting in May 2025. From massive AAA prequels like Doom: The Dark Ages and the unique Elden Ring Nightreign, to fascinating indies like Despelote and The Midnight Walk, tactical RPGs, simulators, VR experiences, and everything in between. Seriously, there's something for almost everyone this month. Which of these games are you most hyped for? Did I miss any you're looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future release roundups and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.